So today we're gonna most likely finish up butterfly soup. So let's get into it. Make sure to play the audio this time. Pick up with Noelle. 5th grade. Saturday Chinese school. The first phrase is mirror. Noelle copies down the unfamiliar characters on the board, stroke by stroke. What did it look like again? Oh no. I wasn't paying attention. Noelle writes it down and then checks it against the writing on the board. I got it wrong. Next phrase is admit. Oh, I'm gonna try and memorize this one. You should already know recognize. Meaning is to bear or to carry. This would be easier if Chinese words used an alphabet like most languages. It infuriates me how you can't tell how a Chinese character is pronounced by the way it looks. You're forced to learn every single word twice, how it sounds, and what it looks like. It's wildly inefficient. A couple hours into the lesson, a kid towards the back of the room raises his hand. Teacher, how many Chinese characters are there? At least 80,000. 80,000? Don't worry, most educated people only know about 800. Or 8,000. Ooh, 800 would be a lot less. 8,000 is still a mind-boggling number. After school, Noelle does her weekly packet of Chinese homework at the kitchen table. I've spent every Saturday since kindergarten tediously memorizing a few characters at a time, but it's barely even made a dent. After all these years, I still can't even read a book or the newspaper. At this pace, it's hard to imagine I'll ever be able to. Noelle, what is this? Noelle looks up to see her mom holding the sample packet of pads and tampons she got from school. Oh, that's from the sex ed talk we had in class. The girls received a presentation about menstruation. The school gave you this? Using a tampon is the same as having sex. That's not what the teacher giving the talk said. It's just a tool for absorbing blood. No, you'll be able to feel it the whole time and it goes into... Her mom can't even bear to say it. It's the same as having sex with a man. The women giving the talk said plenty of girls use it. American girls get their periods so early because they're thinking about sexual thoughts at a young age. It's not natural. You shouldn't be thinking about these things until you're married. After throwing away the immoral tampons, her mom goes off to the living room to watch a Chinese variety show. It's hard growing up trusting very little of your parents' judgment. My mom doesn't believe in mental illness, yet genuinely believes in superstitions like auspicious dates, and no amount of proof or argument can sway her. Is Chinese society just decades behind the West? I've yet to meet a white person whose mind works this way. Noelle glances over at the show her mom is watching. Colorful words and cartoons fly across the screen as cheesy sound effects play. So tacky. It's one of those shows where they interview a panel of foreigners who can barely speak Mandarin. Noelle cringes as silly boing noises overlaid over the host jokes. They're just laughing at the foreigners for not understanding the questions they've been asked. Why is this so popular? It's so juvenile and embarrassing. I feel like I'm losing brain cells as I listen to it. Disgusted, Noelle returns to scrutinizing an impenetrable paragraph of Chinese she's supposed to be analyzing for homework. What am I even going to use Chinese for? Watching drivel like that? I have no interest in the backwards culture that produced by pathetic, narrow-minded parents. When a commercial break comes on, she throws down her pencil. I want to quit Chinese school. Her mom whirls around from the couch alarmed. What? Why? I hate it. It always takes up my entire Saturday. They assign so much homework every week on top of regular homework I get from school. Noelle's dad looks up disapprovingly from the newspaper he's reading. Well, you can't quit. What kind of Chinese parents can't even speak Chinese? What kind of Chinese person can't even speak Chinese? We'll lose faith if you don't learn. Other people would think we're bad parents. Why does it matter what other people think? I'm the one whose limited time is being sucked away by it. My opinion should be the one that matters the most. No, you have to listen to your parents. It's for your own good. You're too young to understand. Almost nothing drives Noelle up the wall more than being told she's not old enough to understand something. Stop threatening me like some feeble-minded little kid. I read at a college level already. It doesn't matter. You don't have the life experience yet. Some things you can only know from being as old as your parents are. What? So just because you're older than me, you're automatically smarter than I am? Yes. I don't accept that. It's your culture. You can't just throw it away. Yes, I can. It's a poorly constructed, archaic language. That's not true. If it's so bad, how come it's worked for thousands of years? You should take more pride in your culture. What is there to be proud of? I'm stuck learning the worst, most pointless, complicated language in the world. Exasperated, Noelle's parents exchanged a look. You're still going to Chinese school. We already paid for your classes this year. Can I quit at the end of the year, then? If you still feel that way by the end of the year, fine, you can quit. I can? Huh? No, she can't. Think about it. If she gets to Chinese school with that kind of attitude, she won't learn anything anyway. It's impossible to teach someone who doesn't want to be educated. We might as well at least save money. Yes, the end of the year is pretty far away, but at least the end is in sight now. Quitting Chinese school will significantly free up my schedule. I can probably read a few more books every week. It'll be so worth it when I'm older. I'll be so thankful that I quit. Noelle is so elated that she doesn't even mind being dragged along to 99 Ranch with her mom. A trip she normally grips is a waste of time. Gripes is a waste of time. As they browse the fishbowl aisle, her mom's Nokia rings. She quickly brings it to her ear. Hello? There's a pause. Her mom's face falls. What is it? Taiwanese term, Grandma passed away. Ma passed away. Oh. I know I should be sad, but I haven't seen my grandmother for years. I've never had a real conversation with her before. It's like being told a stranger died. 9th grade. Spring break. Noelle isn't allowed to close her bedroom door, so she's on high alert as she uses the computer. It sounds like my mother's busy washing vegetables in the kitchen. Here's my chance. Noelle quickly searches homosexuality on Wikipedia. I skimmed this page once as research after our crush started, insisting Min and Mincio were romantically involved. But I'm positive there was no mention of it being possible for two women to have a sexual relationship. I would have remembered it. Click the lesbian hyperlink. Noelle scrolls through the page. Most of this page just details historical lesbian relationships. They live such tragic, tortured lives. I hope Dia knows what she's signed up for. Before the late 19th century, the word lesbian referred to any derivative of aspect of Lesbos, including a type of wine. In the 1890s, however, the term was used in a medical dictionary as an adjective to describe tribadism as lesbian love, sexual gratification of two women by stimulating intercourse. What on earth is tribadism? Is this the finger thing Mincio was referring to? This seems like a bad choice. As the page opens, at the top there's a simple illustration of two naked women scissoring. What is this? This is so risque. Noelle breaks into a feverish sweat as she reads the page as quickly as possible. Then, in a panic, Noelle closes the tab, erases their web history, and shuts the computer down. Mincio was right. I can't believe it. Should such erotic content be allowed on Wikipedia? Anyone can read it. I must destroy all evidence that I visited that web page. Should I uninstall the browser, delete my user profile, perhaps set the computer on fire for good measure? This better not awaken anything in me. Noelle jumps in her chair when she receives the text. Let's check our phone. Is it just me or does King Dedede look kind of sexy in this drawing? Most popular deviations submitted in the last Rainy Forest fan art. What? Anyone else? Hello? Anyone care to raise a hand? You're insane. Would anyone hit it? Hello? Noelle? Banging on your door. Would you mess with King Dedede, a penguin? You're braver than the U.S. Marines. Diaz left the chat room. Minna's left the chat room. Well, why are you like this? I'm so bored. I've been stuck at home all day. Unfortunately for you, I can't entertain you for long either. I have to leave for the airport soon. Oh yeah, you're visiting Taiwan, right? How long are you going to be there again? I'll be there for the entire week. My mom and I will return Sunday afternoon. My dad is staying for an additional week there for business purposes. Can I still message you when you're there? Do you have to use a VPN or something? No, as long as I have internet access, we should be able to chat like usual. Really? But isn't there, like, hella censorship? There's nothing like that in Taiwan. It's not as if I'm going to China. Right. Also, what's the difference between China and Taiwan again? My bad. I mean, I know Taiwan's an island, but is it like... When you say you were shot, yet you're still talking like nothing happened. It's its own country. I have a high pain tolerance. No, you don't. Anyway, I tried to ask in geography class once, and everyone started arguing. Everyone started arguing because it's a political question. Whether Taiwan is part of China or a separate country is an extremely controversial issue. Why, though? To be honest, I'm not clear on the details. As I understand it, the dispute is the result of a civil war that was never properly resolved. Huh. So, are you Taiwanese or Chinese? Or both? Well, I went to Chinese school as a child, and my parents told me Chinese folktales. Is that how it works? Or just because I speak English doesn't mean I'm English? To be frank, I'm floundering because I've never given it any thought. LOL, oops. I didn't mean to give you an identity crisis. Even if I say I'm Taiwanese, hardly anyone knows what that means, even other East Asians. That kind of sounds like how most Americans don't really get Desi identities. Apologies if you heard that. I was moving my desk cart thing. How so? Like, they think it's based on a country. Like you're Pakistani or you're Indian, etc. But the countries weren't split on racial lines. Like an Indian Punjab isn't really the same ethnicity as an Indian Guju. But it's the same to non-Desis because they don't know the difference. Oh, you're right. I don't know the difference. Wait, I know. The answer to what you are. What is it? You're French. Because you're Frenchman. That doesn't help me at all. No. Later that day, Noelle sits in the back seat as her dad drives them to the airport. She feels a flash of rage when she sees the passing cars sporting a proud parent of an honor roll student bumper sticker. Why would they brag about such an unremarkable accomplishment on your car? You're supposed to be on the honor roll. It's like buying a bumper sticker saying, my child breathes air. My parents would never even bother mentioning such a benign thing. Noelle's mom squints at the airport signage as it passes them by. Noelle, watch the signs for us. Why me? I don't even know how to drive. You were born here. You read faster than us. Alright. How's it that after living here for 20 years, they still haven't mastered English? Well, that's a very difficult language. My mom can't even speak English well enough to carry a conversation with a stranger. What have they been doing this whole time? Which way is parking? Which lane? Just follow the arrows. Turn right. See, even though I have a PhD, ever since you were in second grade, you could read highway signs faster than me. Good thing we have Noelle with us. These signs go by so fast. Noelle's dad scrunches his head as he directs them through the airport labyrinthian roads. Where is it? It feels like we're just going in circles. We're not. You see that sign there? The parking's past the cargo area. Do I turn here? Noelle's heart stops as her dad starts to turn into a street labeled Do Not Enter. It says Do Not Enter. Keep straight. Oh. Her dad swerves sharply to stay in the lane. Noelle massages her temples, her heart pounding. I'm surrounded by illiterate idiots. Why does it rest on me, a literal child, to ensure we don't drive into oncoming traffic? They have endless energy when it comes to obsessing over my studies. Why can't they work on their own English instead? As the car rolls into a parking lot, Noelle jolts up in her seat. Wait, this isn't the correct garage. Turn around. Huh? How do you know? That sign says premium parking. Premium means something of exceptional quality, superior. So, isn't that good? No, not right now when we are looking for regular run-of-the-mill parking lot. In this context, premium parking means special parking that's more expensive. Oh. Make a U-turn, we're going to miss our flight. Noelle's mom sighs as the car makes a series of turns. This would have been easier if you'd talked to us in Chinese. This would have been easier if your English was better, too. Noelle crosses her arms in the back seat, fuming. Why am I the one responsible for making sure we're not separated by a language barrier? You were the one who chose to move here in the first place. 16 hours later. Taipei. Noelle and her parents take a taxi from the airport to an alley lined with parked scooters. This must be Ah Gong's apartment. We're staying there for the week. Her mom presses the buzzer. We're here! Come in, come in! After huffing and puffing up 4 stories of stairs, Noelle is drenched in sweat. Hey! Yay, you're finally here! Shenhua, you've grown so big. Yeah, I must have been in elementary school the last time you saw me. This must be one of my cousins. Noelle, don't be rude. Introduce yourself in Chinese. Hi, Merry One. I for Li Yang. My pronunciation is so atrocious. I don't know if they can even understand me. What did you say? Liar M. Li Yang. Can I just talk in English? Agong doesn't speak English. He only knows Japanese, Taiwanese, and Mandarin. Even the Mandarin he's nearly forgotten. As Ai gestures at her daughter, she's wearing thick glasses and carrying a huge brick of books. Noelle, you speak English with Chunhua. She wants to go to college in America, so she's very happy to practice speaking. Yes, you can call me Literature. Is that a name she chose herself? Chinese people have such odd taste in English names. That's alright. Shenhua is fine. We are the same age, right? Who do you think is more tall? Shenhua eagerly stands back to back with Noelle so that others can judge. Wait, you're standing on your tiptoes. That's cheating. Huh? No, I am not. Wow, you two are the exact same height. They're both skin and bones. They really are cousins. One US version, one Taiwan version. Noelle glances at Chunhua and realizes with a start that she's right. It's like meeting a version of myself from a universe where my parents never went to America. A stranger with my face. You sure I'm not taller? Yes, we're sure. Huh? Huh? That must be Taiwanese. Shenhua gives him an affectionate hug as Noelle awkwardly watches from the sidelines. Meanwhile, the adults launch into an animated conversation in Taiwanese. Huh? I wonder what they're talking about. My Taiwanese is even worse than my Mandarin. I don't know a single word. Actually, wait, isn't Agong Taiwanese? They didn't cover it in Chinese school. Could it be a term exclusively used in Taiwan? It's really a special sort of confusion not knowing what language you're speaking. Da Ai leads Noelle's parents to the spare bedroom so they can put their luggage away. This reminds me how I used to assume Japanese curry was a Chinese dish because my mom made it regularly. If you had a distant relationship with your parents, your culture becomes a nebulous cloud. Is it Chinese to believe in pseudoscience? Is it Chinese to have an outdated and sexist worldview? Or is it just my parents in particular? How do I distinguish between things particular to my life and Chinese culture? Xinhua brightly takes a seat next to Noelle. Anything you have questions about, you can ask me. Let's ask about the area. Tell me about the surrounding area. Let's look outside. Xinhua goes over to the window and points as Noelle peers outside at the street below. That way is my house. Me and my mom, we walk over all the time. You must live pretty close by if you're able to come on foot. Yes, we are only a few streets. We are only a few streets away from Agong. Every weekend, me and my cousins spend here. That's so different from my experience. When you are all set at the 7-Eleven, we can go and grab breakfast. Breakfast from 7-Eleven? What, you've never had it? It's so good. It is? It won't be all greasy? No, they have fresh tea eggs, hot yams, oden. If you want a pre-packaged breakfast, they'll heat it up for you too. In America, is it not like that? No, American 7-Elevens are just junk food stores. Xinhua points at the train as it rushes by. There's a train station near us too. We take it a lot. You don't use a car to get around? Not much. When we can't use the train, we ride our scooter. What else do you want to know? Let's ask her about her book. What are you reading? Oh my gosh. Sorry. I keep getting pop-ups on my computer. From various different things. What are you reading? It's a Chinese translation of a Russian novel. What it's called in English, I don't know. Something brothers. These brothers and it's Russian? The brothers Karamazov? Yeah, that sounds correct. I've read it before too. This is exciting. I've never met anyone else my age who's read it. Did you like it? The religious themes were of little interest to me, but I found some of the other ideas thought-provoking. For example, it argues that humans are so deeply shaped by others that everyone bears some responsibility for the sins of everyone else. Everything we do is the result of a huge interwoven chain reaction of human interactions, as a result, a crime is never truly one person's fault. It's a societal failure. To Noelle's disappointment, Xinhua nods, looking lost. I see. I guess what I said was beyond her English level. I need to scale back to a simpler topic. Do you like reading? I like reading. Are you nerdy? The sudden question baffles Noelle. Yes, I suppose so. Good, me too. On the wall, there's even a photo of me that what? Actually, I changed my mind. Don't look too much at the photos on the wall. They're embarrassing. What else do you want to know? Let's ask about the photos on the wall. My gosh. Pop-ups suck. Tell me about these photos. Okay, if you're sure. They go to look at the photos on the wall. The first one's of Agong and Xinhua at the park. There's a small chestnut-colored warbler sitting on the Xinhua's arm. That bird at the park, we found him abandoned. It was because he fell out of his nest and broke his wing. After it got better, we taught him to fly so he could go back to the wild. I see, that's very noble of you. It was Agong's idea. He's quiet, but he's so nice, actually. You seem very close to your grandpa. Your grandpa? He's your grandpa, too. Oh, that's right. To hide her embarrassment, Noelle quickly moves on to the next photo. It looks old. A swarm of children are building a sandcastle as smiling adults look on from the background. This is me, Wan Ping, and Wan Zong. Wan Ping and Wan Zong are my older cousins. They're my uncle's children. Wan Zong's working right now. Too bad Wan Ping is traveling right now, or else we could all have hung out. Where's he? Is he visiting? Japan. It's his honeymoon. Honeymoon? Did he get married? Yes, a month ago. Oh, I had no idea. In the picture, the people behind us is Juju and Agong and Ama. We didn't know it, but that weekend was our last one with Ama. I can't help but feel jealous that they had any weekends together. While she was spending every Saturday with her cousins and grandparents, I was at school struggling to learn an entire language so I could even begin to communicate with them. Chunhua reluctantly gestures at the last photo, which she was clearly saving for last. And this one is of me with all my anime figures. Oh, so this is what she meant by nerdy. It's alright, I have a good friend who's interested in this sort of thing too. Really? And she's American? Yes. She sounds cool, I want to meet her. You do? Once Noelle turns away from the photos, Chunhua points to a framed certificate hanging on the wall behind her. You should look at this award too, it's your mom's. What, really? Yeah, in college she won a bunch of poetry contests, she was even in the newspaper. I had no idea. This is going to sound extremely mean, but I never suspected my mom had any sort of creative talent. All I've ever known was her strict, close-minded housewife. Here, you should read her things. She's very skilled. Chunhua pulls a magazine out from a cabinet and flips it open to a page of poetry. See what I mean? Some people just have a way with words. It's a big waste she quit. I guess there weren't enough reasons to keep doing it over in America. Noelle stares blankly at her mom's poem. I can't read any of it. That evening, Noelle and her parents walked to the subway. Here's our train. We should reach the night market in a few stops. I hate taking public transit. The trains are always filthy and poorly maintained. It's in America. As they board the MRT carriage, Noelle steels herself for the stench of vomit, urine, and cigarettes she's grown to expect from American subways. But to her amazement, the car's shiny floors and seats look so squeaky clean you could eat off them. It's absolutely spotless. Pleasantly surprised, she sits beside her parents in a gleaming plastic seat. Shipai Station. You can actually clearly hear what they're saying. It's not indistinct mumbling like on the BART. An LCD screen right across from her neatly displays the names of the previous, current, and next station. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Her phone buzzes. Her heart leaps when she sees that it's Akarsha. It's Akarsha. Why did you send this? Aw, I thought you liked me. Even if I hypothetically did like you, why would I want to see this awful picture of you? Personally, I think it's a very hot and sexy picture of me playing video games against little kids at Fry's Electronics and lose. Is that what you're doing? No, I'm back home now playing the game I bought. It's called Portal. Dude, you'd love it. I don't play computer games. No, you'd love it. Trust me. It's not like other games where you're some guy shooting stuff. You're a girl and it's a puzzle game. It's in a science research facility. Oh? I'll give you the CD. Just play it. I'll consider it after I return from my trip. Oh yeah, you're in Taiwan. What are you up to right now? I'm riding the subway with my parents. How's that? I hope they aren't giving you a hard time. Actually, ever since we've arrived in Taipei, they've been in good spirits. I've never seen my mother so relaxed before. She must be happy to be back home to see her family. Oh dang. That's good. We're on the way to the night market right now. I feel paranoid that everyone can tell I'm a foreigner. LOL, I get what you mean. When I'm in India, they tell me I'm American before I can even open my mouth. Just from the way I carry myself. Her mom sighs as Noelle taps out her response on her phone. There you are, addicted to your phone. How am I addicted compared to other teenagers? I barely use it. You spend so much time talking to your friends, but friendships are only temporary. As soon as it's inconvenient, they all disappear. After I moved to America for your future, Not a single one kept in touch with me. The only people you can trust is your family, and I was so far away from all of mine. The life of an immigrant is a lonely one. Is she hoping I'm going to console her or thank her for making such a brutal sacrifice for my sake? It was her own decision. Oh my gosh. I need to learn how to turn off all of the pop-ups on my browser. It was her own decision as a full-grown adult to move it here. It wasn't up to me. Her mom sighs heavily and stares out the window. There's a message she's always trying to impart on me. I'm lonely because of you. Noelle watches the scenery fly by. After half an hour, the train arrives at their destination precisely on time. Let's look for clothes. You need new ones. But I have plenty of clothes already. They all have holes in them. You should just throw them away already. Noelle browses through a sea of clothing racks with her parents. A hideous pair of beige pants catches her eyes. This would complement many items in my wardrobe. She turns it over in her hand, searching for its price tag, but it's missing. I'm going to ask how much these trousers are. Do you know how? Are you serious? Of course I know how. Miff, she marches up to the stall's cashier and shows her the pants. Might I ask how much these pants are? 200 NTD. That's only about $7. What a bargain. I waste by this. What'd you say? I stumbled over the pronunciation. I want to buy this. Okay. Ashamed, Noelle doesn't dare speak another word as the cashier bags her purchase. Excellent. Simply superb. After 6 years of Chinese school, I still can't speak, read, or write Mandarin. She finds her way back to her parents, who are just finishing up their purchase at the neighboring stall. I'm hungry. Let's go get dinner at the food court. What for? There's food stalls all over the place. We can just eat as we shop. No, I want to properly sit down somewhere and have a meal. Noelle follows her parents down the flight of stairs to the underground food court. It's a bizarre shape that reminds Noelle of a mirror maze. They sit down at the stall and Noelle scans the menu, which is conveniently printed directly on the surface of the table. Something chicken, something soup. Noelle has picked her dish based on the pictures, like a toddler would. Do you know what you're getting? I will order this oyster omelet. It's seldom seen in America, so I should take the chance to eat it here. As the stall worker comes over and takes her parents' order, Noelle mentally recites hers, determined not to be rendered an inarticulate child again. I know this. This is kindergarten level vocabulary. I want oyster omelet. That sounds a tad crude, but in English I'd normally say something like, I'd like to have the oyster omelet. What do you want to order? I want the oyster omelet. The woman jots her order down on a pad of paper, nodding. Are you American-born Chinese? Huh? My Chinese is that bad? I am. I could tell, I guess, from your accent. So heavy. Noelle's mom sighs as the woman walks off to prepare their meals. All those years of Chinese school wasted. Their food arrives within minutes. Noelle tries the gooey spoonfuls of her oyster omelet. It's delicious. I would have never guessed it only cost $3. Really? Let me try. Her parents each taste a spoonful of the oyster omelet and shrug, unimpressed. This is below average. I've had way better around here before. Yeah, this isn't really what it's supposed to taste like. Well, I'm never here, so I couldn't have known that. Annoyed now, Noelle takes another bite of her oyster omelet. This is the best thing I've ever eaten. I should find out how this place is so called so I can find it again. Oh, I should find out what this place is called so I can find it again. She looks up at the name of the stall, but it's in Chinese. I can't read it. I'd better savor it while it lasts. This omelet can only taste once. All too soon it's over. Noelle sighs and they get up to continue shopping. You should have tried harder to convince me to learn Chinese. Are you serious? We told you not to quit so many times, but you never properly explained why it's so important not to. All you did was give me condescending lectures on how I was too young to understand why it mattered and how I'd be an embarrassment if I didn't learn. English is our second language. It's hard to explain things to you. And it's true. You are an embarrassment. Last week I saw our neighbor's son, Michael, moving the lawn, and he greeted me in Chinese. Hello, Auntie. See, that's what happens when you listen to your parents. Michael goes to Taiwan with his family every summer. That's the reason he's more fluent, not because he was a superior child to me. Why didn't we just visit Taiwan more often when I was younger? That alone would have made me more interested in learning. I feel like I've been trying to understand Chinese culture by looking at it through a soda straw until now. You think we didn't want to visit Taiwan more? Too, the plane tickets are expensive. We have to save up for years just for one trip. Oh. But even so, you could have done more to show me that speaking Mandarin could be a positive experience. Why do you always speak to me in English even though you can't fully express yourselves in that language? If you'd conversed with me in Chinese from a young age, I would have naturally picked it up from daily use. We thought you'd have an accent if we did that. We were worried that you wouldn't fit in at school. But that's ridiculous. There's no way I could have developed an accent with everyone else I interacted with when everyone else I interacted with spoke English. I would have grown up bilingual without any ill effects. Resigned, her dad shrugs. Well, too late now. What can you do? The last day of the trip. Noelle and her relatives visit the columbarium housing Ama's ashes. My mom visits this place every time she's in Taiwan. Noelle follows her grandpa into the worship hall. We crossed an ocean to see my grandpa, and I've barely spoken a word to him. It's not out of lack of interest. He must have lived a fascinating life. He's the only grandparent I have left. But how do I gain access to the heart of a stranger? Where do you even begin? Tell me about yourself? Who says that to their own grandfather? It would sound like a job interview. Even if I knew what I wanted to say, what am I capable of saying in Chinese? Today is Sunday. I'm a student. She watches Chinhua take a lotus petal from a glass bowl and offers it to the giant Buddhas. Noelle, we're going to pray for Ama. Take a flower petal from that bowl over there. Can I pray in English? If you have to. Unsure what she's supposed to do, Noelle does her best to imitate her parents. Hello, Buddha. I seriously doubt that you exist, but I'm sure that Ama was a wonderful woman. Chinhua deposited her lotus petal in the bowl before the Buddhas, her eyes shining with tears. I miss Ama. To Noelle's surprise, her aunt embraces Chinhua like it's the most natural thing in the world. They're so comfortable with each other. Is that how mothers and daughters are supposed to be? When I look at my mother, the first emotion I feel is stress. Noelle deposits her lotus petal in the bowl and joins Aguang, who's waiting to the side. He smiles awkwardly at her, and they stand together in silence. What should I do? Try to build a relationship in broken Mandarin, tell him I like reading and my favorite color is green? Or do I let the moment pass by, say nothing, and remain strangers? Am I a terrible person if that's what I do? Come on, we're going upstairs. After an elevator ride, they arrive at the floor housing her grandmother's ashes. Ama's over here. Noelle follows everyone down the hall to one of the niches. The only thing distinguishing it from others is a teeny name tag on the door. Not that I can read it. Even if I could, I don't know the names of any of my relatives. And at this point, I'm too embarrassed to ask. Even Chinhua's name I only know by sound. I have no idea what it looks like. Noelle's dad points to the unit beside Ama's. Your mom and I bought our spots, too. Already, you're only in your 50s. There's a limited number, so we made sure to reserve them before they were all gone. I suppose my parents are fairly old. They didn't manage to have me until their 40s. Going off the average American life expectancy, they probably have around 25 years left. Sniff. Noelle's mom wipes her eyes as they open their little door of Ama's unit. Will I cry when my mother dies someday? I'm starting to seriously worry that I won't. What kind of monster does that make me? What kind of cold, heartless person could cares so little about her own parents? Is there something wrong with me? Do I just not form emotional bonds as deeply as ordinary people do? When they get back to Agong's apartment, Noelle and her mom begin packing to leave. Are you all flying back tonight? Actually, my dad will be in Taiwan for another week attending business matters. So my mother and I are flying back alone. Ah, 1 week was too short. As Noelle fits the last of her clothes into the rolling bag, Chinois takes a seat, pulling a thick tome out of her backpack. Noelle feels a twinge of sadness as she watches her cousin read her huge academic-looking book. If I'd grown up in Taiwan, we probably would have become closer. Suddenly, a strange thought occurs to Noelle. If I'd grown up here, would my parents been shaped into something more similar to Chinois? How much of my personality is just a product of being raised by an immigrant helicopter mom with no friends or family around to balance her out? Would my mother and I have gotten along? The magazine Chinois showed Noelle earlier still out on the coffee table, taunting her. I'm finished packing, so I have some time to kill before we leave for the airport. Maybe I can translate that poem my mother wrote. Noelle digs her emergency Chinese to English dictionary out of her backpack. I was being a petulant baby in elementary school. And all I have to do is persevere and power through learning the language properly this time. I'll simply look up each word I don't know and burn its pronunciation and meaning into my memory. Unfortunately, she doesn't know a single word of the poem's first line. After spending 15 minutes pounding 7 words into her memory, her enthusiasm evaporates. This actually is incredibly difficult. I'm not surprised that I have nothing to show for my 6 years of Chinese school. It feels like the knowledge is just washing over my brain like water over plastic. Is my brain just not wired for this? Could it be genetic? Even after living the majority of their lives in America, my parents haven't mastered English either. It took another 15 minutes for her to finally overcome the first line of the poem. At last, on to the second line. And I already know all of these words. Mirror, flower, water, moon. It's total gibberish. Is this supposed to sound poetic mushed together like that? Mirror, flower, water, moon. Noelle feels the urge to tear the magazine to shreds. Perhaps noticing her hands quaking with barely suppressed rage, Chinois peers over Noelle's shoulder to see what she's reading. What's wrong? Nothing, I'm just translating one of my mom's poems. Ah. Return. Why don't you ask your mom for help? I'd rather die. Oh, okay. Maybe I can help instead? Where are you stuck? What's this supposed to mean? Oh, that's, how do you call it? Like saying, lesson of the story. Flower in the mirror, moon in the water. Pretty much it means something that you can see but never grasp. Like a flower reflected in a mirror or the moon shining on the water's surface. Yes, you can reach your hand through the mirror and take the flower out. You can't reach your hand through the mirror and take the flower out. It's impossible. You can only look, never have it. I see. So mirror, flower, water, moon is a shorthand for something beautiful and unattainable. Pretty much. As Ai cheers as Noelle's mom manages to zip her bulging suitcase closed. Ready to go to the airport? Let's go. Noelle gives her half-translated poem one last despairing look before flipping the magazine shut. Is this what I've been chasing after the whole time? A flower in the mirror? If I only get straight A's, I'll have a normal relationship with my parents. If only I had landed a summer internship, I'd have a normal relationship with my parents. If only I'd become fluent in Chinese, I'll have a normal relationship with my parents. What if it's never possible from the start, no matter what I did? That evening, Noelle and her mom make landfall in California. Instead of driving home from the airport, they take the BART back. Noelle wrinkles her nose as she inhales the stench of vomit, urine, and cigarettes. Dad's car's parked at the airport garage. Why not just drive it home? We wouldn't be able to get gas. It's not safe for women to pump gas. It's so easy for a criminal to grab your hand and drive away. We live in one of the safest suburbs in the entire U.S. Is that why she always has my dad pump gas? Besides, I can't read fast enough. When you're driving on a freeway, the signs pass by too so quickly. Noelle reluctantly sits down on a filthy worn seat with a suspicious brown stain on it. The conductor mumbles something unintelligible over the intercom and the train stops at the station. 6, miss. A breathless man enters the train car just in time before the doors shut. His eyes frantically scour its interior. Does this train go to Berkeley? It does not. This is the Fairmont train. Shoot! I need to get off at the next station. As the train continues onward, Noelle notices a puddle of liquid traveling down the floor. What is that? Did someone spill their drink? Ah! Someone peed in their seat. What? Disgusted, Noelle recoils and keeps her feet as far as possible from the pee spreading down the floor. So gross. Biohazard. Please evacuate at the next station. What is he saying? The urine is biohazard. We need to get off at the next station. Once the door opens, Noelle and her mom hastily drag their luggage off the train and onto the concrete platform. Maybe we should have driven after all. I didn't know Bart was that like this. We're still several stops from our destination. Noelle and her mom wait on a bench for the next train home. 9-car train to Fairmont in 6 minutes. Our train will arrive in 6 minutes. Okay. Good thing I was here with you, or else I wouldn't have known what train to take. Exhausted, Noelle stares at the dark line of trees ahead of them. It's cold. Why are we here? Because that person peed on the train? That's not what I mean. Why did you move from Taiwan to America? To give you more opportunities? That doesn't make any sense. Taiwan is superior to the US by every conceivable metric, and it's not even close. Taiwan has socialized healthcare, more robust public infrastructure, and one of the lowest poverty rates in the world. Americans live shorter lives. Even worse, they're not as good at math and science. Taiwan was different in the past. As you see, all you see is Taiwan now, but it didn't used to be this way. And America was so strong. We were scared China was going to invade Taiwan. But they didn't. In all this time that we've lived in America, nothing's happened. That's true, but it could have happened. But the plain truth is that it didn't. You could have just stayed put. I could have grown up in Taiwan like Chunhua and the rest of my cousins, and everything would have been fine. But we didn't know that. You think we have a crystal ball telling us the future? Noelle's mom perks up as the train screeches to a stop at the platform. Fruitvale, Dublin, Pleasanton train. Is this our train? No, it's not. Noelle's mom settles glumly back onto the bench. You know how Chunhua wants to study in America? Yes. I told her not to do it. It's not worth it. I didn't realize how hard it would be. You'll be far from everyone you know, and your kids won't understand what you're talking about. You can't communicate with them. I didn't know that if you had kids in America, your kids will be American. That wasn't obvious to you? No. The next day. Noelle waits with her friends for the baseball club meeting to begin. How was Taiwan? It was amazing. The subway system, it was so punctual and efficient, and the signage was so clear. If you ever visit Dia, you don't have to be afraid of getting lost or not hearing the announcement like you do on BART. Everyone there meticulously organizes their recyclables too. If people fail to sort their materials properly, the government will fine them $200. Wait, they do that in Korea too. Interesting. Perhaps Korea is more similar to Taiwan than I thought. I bet Korea did it first and Taiwan just stole it. What makes you think that? Dia listens with a small smile as Noelle continues extolling the virtues of Taipei's trash collecting system instead of describing any actual landmarks she visited. You must have liked it there. You're right, I did. What did you call it when you're grateful for the things your parents have done for you, but at the same time you feel like they made critical mistakes that probably affect you forever? Isn't that just life? Oh, I suppose it is. My shoelaces keep coming undone. Noelle glances to her left, where Karsha is crouched over trying her sneaker laces. Why have you tied your shoelaces like that? This is the Silicon Valley, Frenchman, the land of innovation. Did you get me any souvenirs on your trip? No. Meanie. I didn't get anyone anything. We had limited luggage space. All we brought back were snacks that can't be found here, and dubious beauty products my mom wanted. Dubious beauty products? Like what? Nail clippers and with explosions in them? What? Why would there be nail clippers with explosions in them? All I meant was products with questionable value like skin whitening cream. Wait, skin whitening cream? Like to make your skin lighter? Yes, Chinese beauty standards are all kind of messed up. It's been ingrained very deeply into people's mind that the lighter your skin is, the better. It's just like that in India. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. I thought it was just a brown thing. You guys have colorism too? Oh, is it similar in your culture? It's a whole thing, you have no idea. I would argue I do have an idea. My mother even tells me not to spend time outside to avoid getting a tan. Oh, my mom does that too. They have those dumb as heck skin creams in Korea too. It's the same. It's the same. Yellow and brown parents, they match just like Akarsha? What the heck? Akarsha, have you ever considered not speaking? How mean. The second I open mouth, you all jump to slap my... Okay. Do you have to word it like that? I'm just trying to use more phrases with the word balls in them in my normal conversations. Why? I don't know. I just think it adds more flavor. Death Bagels assemble! The Death Bagels gather around Carissa and Liz as they begin the meeting. So we've got good news and bad news. Good news, we have a game today. Bad news, it's just the Niles Balls baseball team again. They're the only ones who would play us again. That's not surprising. We either win by pulling some weird shenanigans or lose but badly, we get mercied. There's no in between. So most teams we play aren't exactly eager for a rematch. We had to swear up and down you guys would be normal this time. So you'd better not be weird. Alright, Yakusoku. What? That's how you say promise in Nihon, aka Japanese. Is everyone ready to go? The other team got here early. The Death Bagels walk over to the field where the killer whales are already warming up. Thanks for being willing to play us again, you guys. No problem, thanks for time for our revenge. Yeah, right, we destroyed you guys last time. Well, that was before our secret weapon joined the team. Secret weapon? We got a new guy who's pretty good. Oh yeah, where is he? Shinsuyo and Hayden look around amongst their teammates, but as the seconds pass, their faces go more and more alarmed. I'm actually not sure. Maybe he got lost on his drive here? Yeah, but that seems typical of him. It's fine, we can wait a few minutes for him to show up. 20 minutes later. No one came. He's decidedly late at this point. I can't believe this. Where the heck could he be? Did you try calling him? He didn't pick up. Well, it's not like he can answer the phone if he's driving. You guys are pathetic, making it some guy to blame your loss on. We're not making him up. He's real. And we didn't lose yet. Stop jumping to conclusions. It's okay if we start playing without him. If he turns up later, he can join the game then. Yeah, sure. As the killer whales file into the dugout, Noelle starts trekking to his spot in the right field. She scowls disdainfully at the barren patch of grass as she passes it. Crystal likes pointing to the tiny patch and going, I'll defend this area so you can cover the rest of the field, okay? I hope this grass grows back soon so I don't have to keep hearing that joke. Hey, wait. Noelle, you're playing second base today. I am? Why? Yeah, why? She ducks and covers whenever the ball comes her way. That's exactly why she needs to do it. I'm taking AP Psych and I found out there's something called exposure therapy. It's where you make someone do something they're afraid of until they stop whining and get used to it. That doesn't sound like textbook definition to me. Carissa, then, how come when we went to that demon ride at Great America, you had your eyes closed the whole time? That was before I knew what exposure therapy was. Oh, haha. Wait, but I was second base. What happens to me then? You're playing left field now because you run fast. We're moving a whole bunch of people around, not just you two. Carissa thinks she's a mega mind master now because of AP Psychology. Hey, I never said that. Noelle begins trekking to second base. I do feel better equipped to man second base than I did when I first roped into this club. I don't like to appear underinformed, so a bit after our first game I read a baseball rulebook to cover to cover. Still, I really hope no one hits the ball in my way. To her surprise, Akarshal is already standing by second base. Bonjour. Why are you here? I'm the shortstop. I'm supposed to be here. What? Aren't you supposed to be closer to third base? Says who? The diagram in the baseball rulebook? Nah, the shortstop's position mirrors the second baseman's. You're just supposed to work together to vary your positioning to anticipate what the batters and runners do, you know? See? Right, I knew that. So we're both covering the same base. Won't that make things unnecessarily confusing? You're like a duo. It's a good thing. Yeah, we should negotiate who does what in different situations. Alright, fine. How about you cross over second when there's a runner on first? And if the field ground ball's close to us. And I'll take care of the fly balls. You're just trying to get out of doing as much work as possible. The game kicks off, and to her relief, Min quickly strikes out the first batter. Good, just do that 2 more times, and we get to bat. Hayden digs into the batter's box next. Min throws a floater that curves upwards towards his head for a moment before dipping back towards the strike zone. Ah! Instead of swinging, Hayden plunges backwards out of the way. Strike. What's with you? Nothing, I'm just making sure I don't get hit in the mouth. I had a dream last night that my teeth were falling out. That's what you wasted your dream on? It's not like I control what I dream about. Min hurls another pitch his way, but instead of dancing like usual, it pretty much just sails straight down the middle. Rah! Hayden manages to make a contact and drives the ball into the grass. It bounces into the air, and for only one singular terrifying moment, Noelle sees it coming straight at her. Ah, I hate ground balls. Noelle covers her face with one arm and half-heartedly attempts to catch the ball with the other. She braces for impact, but nothing hits her. On the mound, Min manages to intercept the ball by catching it behind her back without looking at it. Whoa. Even Min herself looks shocked that she caught it. Just because it's cool doesn't mean he's out. Throw it to first. Min hastily lobs the ball at Liz. It just barely beats Hayden to first base. Out. Aw, man. That was close. As Hayden heads back to the dugout in defeat, there's a distant shout. Sorry I'm late. Some guy is sprinting down the hill to the killer whales at top speed. Sorry. Saban, where were you? The killer whales player sighs despondently as he joins his teammates. I was driving over when all of a sudden a spider crawled up on my leg, so obviously I crashed the car. Obviously? Are you okay? Don't worry, I'm fine. I just knocked a street sign over. Isn't that a crime? How big was the spider? Like this big. He pinches his thumb and index finger together to demonstrate. So small. But it was so all hairy, so practically speaking it was equivalent to a spider twice as big. Even if it was twice as big, isn't crashing kind of an overreaction? No? Whatever. Just get up to bat already, it's your turn. This guy seems like a coward. I wonder what makes him their secret weapon. Saban digs in behind home plate. He's standing on the other side of the plate. He must be left-handed. Min hurls her next pitch, and the batter shifts into a bunting stance in the last second. He's not even going to try to hit it. He starts to run towards first base as the ball glances off his bat, sending the baseball bouncing towards Liz. She's forced to rush forward to the field, leaving first base unmanned. I got it! By the time she scooped the ball up, Saban is well on his way to first base. He's fast. Frenchman! Oh, I need to cover first base since Liz isn't there. Noelle blatantly runs towards the base so Liz can throw the ball to her, but Saban beats her there. The killer whales cheer as Saban overruns the base. Yeah, Sub-Zero! Sub-Zero? That's me, they call me Sub-Zero, because I'm so cool. Huh? No fair, I want a nickname too. Oh please, like what? Like Sub-Zero? You're just going to copy him? Saida shakes her head as Sub-Zero basks under his teammates' praise. Who the heck bunts to get on base? I mean, if you're fast, it's doable. Lefties have a huge advantage when bunting too because they're already 2 steps ahead of where righty batters are when they lay down the bunt. That's so cheap. Well, that's the essence of baseball, no? Cheating and being cheap. I thought the essence of baseball was friendship and teamwork. Oh yes, that too. Jinseo is up to bat next. He swings to pitch. The knuckleball suddenly swerves outward, as if he's sensing the bat, dodging it entirely. Ugh! Dia misses the ball by a mile, too. She rips her mask off and chases after it. Yeah! Sub-Zero takes off riding towards second base. He's taking the chance to steal. I need to tag him out. Dia searches for the ball and throws it to Akarsha. Got it! Never mind. Looks like Akarsha's supposed to cover second base here. Sub-Zero skids to a halt halfway between the bases. Oh no! Because it was his choice to run, we need to actually tag him with the ball. Akarsha charges towards him and Sub-Zero turns around and flees back towards first base. Throw it to me! Ha! Akarsha lops the ball and Liz tags him out. No! Nice one, Akarsha. Akarsha? Who's that? You. I don't know who you're talking about. My name is Sub-Zero. No, it's not! The team switches sides. As Noelle crosses the field, she's struck with a peculiar awareness of where she is. Barely a day ago, I was on the opposite side of the planet. I was in Taiwan where the garbage trucks sing Beethoven's Fur Elise while collecting the trash. And now I'm here playing baseball wearing a little cap, sweating and running on grass. Why am I here? It's a mistake that I'm here. Hello, Earth the Frenchman. What? You didn't hear a thing I said, huh? My apologies, what was it? I said it's hot as balls out here. Not this again. So, what were you so lost in thought about? Nothing really. It's just strange knowing I would have led a completely different life if my parents had stayed in Taiwan. I would have been someone who was close to her family, someone who wasn't ignorant of her own culture. Maybe I would have been a better person. Aw, I like you the way you are, though. And if your parents didn't move, we wouldn't have never met. Of course, because obviously that makes up for everything. Akarsha grins inside of Noelle's palm prickles. This is so peculiar. Is this what extreme anger feels like? But now I'm pretending to be annoyed for comedic effect? The sensation is so unbearable, she wants to scratch it until it goes away. I mean, you were on vacation. You probably are looking at it through rose-colored glasses. They probably have tons of struggles over there that you're clueless about. Even so, the standard of living there is so entirely different. This is backed up by actual statistics, not just personal opinion. I don't know, man. It's good to wallow in too long in self-pity, or else you get lost in the sauce. The sauce? What sauce? It's a metaphor for being out of touch with reality. But I like to imagine barbecue sauce. The rest of the Death Bagels cheers Dia bats Krissa in. Oh, they're not just walking Dia like last game? I told Jen I'd shave his hair off in his sleep if he did that again, because it's not fun for Dia. Who's up next? Me, time to unveil my special technique. Wait, she better not be trying that getting hit on purpose thing again. Obviously, Jinseo throws a fastball at Akarsha. Akarsha leans into the pitch because the ball bounces off her elbow guard. Ha, free walk to first base. Ha, you can't do that on purpose. The guy on the Niles team who's serving as the umpire pages through his rulebook lost. Does it say that in the rules? Actually, it's not relevant whether Akarsha caused the ball to hit her or not. Per Rule Tool Section 40 of the NFHS rulebook, there is no distinction between the act of touching or by being touched. Seriously? Thank you, baseball lawyer, mwahaha. Actually, last summer, Rule 734 was added stating that the ball shall not permit a pitched ball to touch him. But it's not really my job to remind them to update their rulebook. But still, not fair. You may not like it, but this is what peak baseball looks like. Even the Major League Baseball logo guy is the guy getting hit by the pitch. What? What are you talking about? It's a guy swinging at the ball. No, really picture it. The ball is too high up and look how close it is to him. It's too late. There's no way he's going to be able to hit it in time. It's a guy who's about to get beamed. No way. She's right. It really is a guy about to get hit. I rest my case. And Akarsha jogs to first base, victorious. Alright, I'm up next. There's already 2 outs. I better not strike out. But on the bright side, Dia and Akarsha are both on base. If I can somehow hit this, we could end up this inning with a massive lead. Noelle swiftly strikes out, missing it by a mile each swing. Drat, I blew it. There. Did you try? Yes. But did you fail? Also yes. Wait, I think I got those in the wrong order. Forget the order. Why mention me failing at all? The team switch sides. As Noelle trots to second base, she crosses paths with Dia on her way to the catcher's box. Dia, do you have any tips for hitting the ball? Dia considers it for a moment. It's easier to hit the top of the ball than the bottom. Bad for hitting home runs, but you'll still strike out a lot less. Dia, at this point, I'd be thrilled for hitting any of the balls. You think I can differentiate between the top and bottom halves? Dia appears not to have heard Noelle's response and has walked away. Thanks, I guess. The Killer Whales cheer as their batter hits a grand slam off one of Min's pitches. Woohoo, we're tied now. Okay, Min. Min strikes the next two batters out in a quick succession, but the third gets a solid hit. Maybe I can catch this. Noelle leaps for the ball, but it flies over her head and bounces into center field. Got it. Krista fields the ball, then tosses it back to Noelle. I need to throw it to first base. Noelle throws the ball with all her might. It plops almost straight into the ground and begins rolling away. Liz leaves first base to grab the ball. By this point, the runner is approaching second base. It's another pickle. Liz and Akarsha need to box him in again. Akarsha! Who? She's not cooperating because she wants to be called Sub-Zero. Let's call her Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero! Oh, hey, that's me. Akarsha gets to the ball and throws ball Liz throws her, and quickly tags out Gensio. No! Another win for Sub-Zero. You're disgusting. Thanks to Noelle's noble sacrifice, the Death Bagels maintain their deadlock with the Killer Whales for the next few innings. It's the bottom of the last inning. We just need to run one run to cinch our victory. Unfortunately, Saida and Krissa rack up 2 outs right off the bat. Dia, you're our only hope. After letting 2 balls go, Dia swings out a fastball. She drives the ball into the right field, and everyone holds their breath as it rockets towards the fence. It smashes into the middle of the fence just a couple of feet too low to clear it. Too bad it wasn't a home run. Too bad I'm about to hurt you. Kidding! Dia did great! Dia sprints round the diamond and slides into second base, just barely beating the throw. Safe! Akarsha crashes her knuckles as she gets up from the bench. Time to use my special technique. Wait, are you going to get hit by the pitch again? Yeah. Back when I was in Little League, I saw a batter get beamed in the face. Krissa, do you remember? He was on your team. Huh? Oh yeah, that was so scary. He collapsed and was just lying motionless on the ground for a while. He looked like he was dead. Poor kid had to be carried in a stretcher. I think it knocked out his teeth, right? Yep. Actually, maybe he even died for real later. Maybe? Anyway, you try and get hit on purpose just reminded me of that. Oh, okay. This must be a new scare tactic they're trying. Plus, this is our only real chance to bring Dia home. We have 2 outs and Noelle will probably strike out her at bat. No offense, Noelle. None taken. So, getting walked here would just delay the inevitable. You should try to create an opportunity for Dia to run. So I gotta actually hit the ball? Aw, man. No pressure if you can't manage it, but do your best. Say no more, I'm going serious mode. As Akarsha walks up to the plate, she tosses her bat in the air, spins it around, and tries to catch it behind her back. She doesn't spin fast enough, so the bat just clatters to the ground. Akarsha picks the bat back up and points it at Gensio. Your pants can't wait for my... What? What is that even supposed to mean? She's trying to confuse you. Don't let it get to you. Disturbed, Gensio quickly pitches at Akarsha. Akarsha whiffs it for a strike. Whoopsie. We're all going to be haunted by that P comment now, and it didn't even work. The team holds their collective breath for Gensio as Gensio lets his next pitch fly. Akarsha smacks it into foul territory. Strike 2. If you waste Dia's double, I'll hit you. Krissa taps the sign she and Liz taped to the dugout fence. No hitting allowed. Ha! Then I'll scream really loud in your ear. So it destroys your eardrum. Liz taps the second sign they taped to the fence. No screaming aloud either. Dang it. Genseo winds up again. In the meantime, Akarsha has gone suspiciously quiet. Akarsha leans in so she softly gets hit by the pinch again. Not again. Great going. You just lost us the game. Yeah? Akarsha races toward first base like her life depends on it. Guys, why is she running? Tag her if she tries to steal second. Hayden quickly throws the ball to Saban, the first baseman. Akarsha hastily stops in her tracks. Uh-oh. Come back here. Akarsha turns and scrambles back the way she came, with Saban at her heels. What is she doing? There's no benefit for her retreating at all the way back home. Akarsha gets home, Saban hurls the ball back to Hayden, who lunges forward to tag her. They're panicking and forgetting the basic rules of baseball. All they have to do is tag first base for a forced out. Can they do that? She was hit by the pitch. She's entitled to first base. Good point. Guys, don't forget Dia's running too. Huh? Dia slides home in the confusion. Yeah! Min runs over to home base and starts ferociously kissing Dia as Hayden and Akarsha back towards first. Get off the playing field. The game's not over yet. It's not? I thought we won. The run won't count if Akarsha is the third out before making it to the first base. Even if they can tag her out, I don't know anymore. She's trying to weasel past Saban. Akarsha trips on her own shoelaces and collides with him. Ah! Akarsha bangs her head on Saban's knee on the way down. Oh my god. Akarsha! Without thinking, she runs over to where Akarsha is lying down, motionless on the ground. Akarsha, are you alright? Akarsha doesn't respond. Coming from Akarsha, the silence of 1,000 times scarier than if she'd been screaming. Please be alright. Her voice comes out of a choke, and funny, Noelle realizes with horror that she's crying. That would have been an awful place without you. Ow. Dazed, Akarsha slowly begins to sit up. Noelle is so relieved that she tearfully pulls Akarsha into a hug for a moment, with a mixture of emotions catching up with her. Wait, what am I doing? Her heart panting, Noelle hastily shoves Akarsha away, sending her crashing back to the ground. What? You absolute jerk. You scared me. Don't ever do that again. Noelle frantically wipes tears away from Akarsha's her tears away as Akarsha wobbles back to her feet. Soon the others have gathered around in her concern. I need to stop doing that. You okay? Yeah, just woozy. What year is it? 1834? Just kidding, 2009. How come can you be cracking jokes right now? Can you tell me what happened? I got myself into a pickle, tripped, and ate poop. Okay, good. Ask her if she feels nauseous. Do you feel nauseous? Nah. As they run through a series of tests for a concussion, Carissa and Liz relax a bit. You seem fine. It's good that you can remember what happened and walk. It seems like you lost consciousness for a second there, though. I was knocked out. I wasn't knocked out. I was thinking the whole time. Huh? I was just stunned because it really hurt. So you remember what I said to you? Yeah, that I'm a jerk. What about before that? Before that, everyone was screaming that I fell. So I was chaotic. It was kind of blurred together. What a relief. I thought it would have been mortifying if you heard me fall to pieces over here. We should get you checked by an adult. Aren't you and Liz technically adults now? You know what I mean, real adults, like the school nurse. Does that mean the game's over? Yeah, sorry, we'll have to rematch you guys some other time. Wait, so did we win? Did Dia's run count? Unfortunately, no. My understanding is that Akarsha ultimately violated Section 4, Rule 8. She made a travesty of the game. A travesty? That's such a dramatic way of putting it. I love it. I'm so sorry. You can hit my head super hard as payback. Like with a bat or something. Why would that help at all? I'll do it. No one is hitting anybody in the head with a bat. Noelle, could you escort Akarsha to the nurse's office? Alright, fine. Noelle and Akarsha trudge back up the hill towards the school. Suddenly, Akarsha touches her cheek, confused. Why is my face wet? What? There's something wet on my cheek, like water. It's for what I was crying over her. That must have been from someone's spit that fell on you. Huh? Ew. Man, if I had only tripped, I totally would have saved the day. You should have thanked me for trying to save you from making us lose. Now that she mentioned it, I do feel a bit bad that she got hurt trying to help me. I actually am a bit impressed you wrangled such an improbable outcome of our walk. I truly marvel at your creativity sometimes. What? Who are you and what did you do with Noelle? Contrary to common belief, I am in fact capable of being nice. I know, but you usually look like you're passing a really hard poo when you're trying to do it. Akarsha grabs Noelle's hand and visually shakes it up and down. Congratulations, you have learned basic human decency. You should try it more often. To Noelle's dismay, she feels a strange, almost electric undercurrent of something running between her palms. Why am I so sensitive to her touch all of a sudden? I didn't used to be like this. Noelle thrashes her hand free and seizes Akarsha's wrist. What? Could it be that I'm still excited from the game? There's probably still adrenaline in my system. Let me go! War crime! War crime! It's not a war crime to grab someone's arm. Oh, the humanity. To be captivated by a court jester, a circus clown juggling 5 bowling pins. 1 week later. Dia blearily looks up from her textbook as Akarsha takes her usual seat in front of Noelle. How's your head? Oh, I'm all good now. The nurse just told me to rest for a few days. My parents made me see a doctor over the weekend, too, and he said the same thing. That's good to hear. I wish I could have used that as an excuse to get out of this bio test today, though. At least we have Multicultural Week assembly in 3rd period. You can use that as extra time to cram. I want to watch at least some of it, though. I heard there was going to be a K-pop part. Noelle's heart does a nervous little stutter as Akarsha turns all the way around in her seat to face her. Do you remember the posters that was in the nurse's office? No, what poster? It said if your hand is bigger than your face, you have... Okay. That doesn't sound right. Why would that be the case? Swelling? Just to check, Noelle puts her hand over her face to compare their sizes. Akarsha slaps Noelle's hand, so Noelle smacks herself in the face. Akarsha! Akarsha bolts and Noelle chases after her. The bell rings. This concludes Noelle and Akarsha's daily morning scream fest. Once they're back in their desk, Noelle glowers at the back of Akarsha's head. I can't keep my eyes off her. It must be my body's natural defense mechanism in response to threats. If I hold her hand, it'll prevent her from doing the "what are you hitting yourself" move. And if I embrace her, she will be completely immobilized. Yes, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of these strange urges I'm feeling. No, it is not. In 3rd period, Noelle's teacher leads the class to the gym to watch the multicultural assembly. Most of the class's mates have had their heads buried in their biology textbooks as they walk, desperately cramming for the impending test. Pistil. The ovule-producing part of a flower. Next. Xylem. Plant tissue that moves water and stuff around. Next. What stuff? Like stuff, stuff. Akarsha, I've never actually seen you study for something in earnest before. Yeah, well, I decided to actually try normally for once. I think I have too many lies and weird plots going on at the same time, and it's tiring me out. You fool, you nuisance, you liar. I want to know everything about you. Aw, she has a crest. I want you to tell me every thought you've ever crossed in your mind. Sepal. The outer part of the flower, the greeny leafy part. Why am I so infuriated with her? Is it possible that I fancy her? No, surely not. May I have outgrown to the concept of Dia dating men, but I have no intention of being in a relationship like that myself. Even now that I'm aware of it is possible for 2 women to copulate, that changes nothing. Homosexuals can't even legally marry anymore. It seems unwise to pursue a lifestyle reliant on the mercy of the government so unreliable as our own. Akarsha gives her an odd look. Why are you glaring at me? Oh, is that how my face looked? I haven't ever even done anything yet. Oof. No, I'll walk straight into someone in the class walking ahead of them. Yeah. Oh, hi, it's you guys. Oh, hey, what's up? I posted the first chapter of my webcomic. I saw every page has like 4 comments. Is that good? I have no idea how to gauge webcomic success. Esther, you're like a celebrity now. Ooh, I want to see. Here, I scanned all the comic pages from my sketchbook. She holds up her sketchbook out so Noelle, Dia, and Akarsha can read it as they walk. It's not scientifically accurate, but at least it's easier to follow than those accursed English videos we made. Hey, were you really in high school if you didn't act in a completely incomprehensible movie with your friends? Is that Noelle? Huh, where? Dia points at a panel showing a character crumpled on the ground. Wait a minute, is this a traced photo of me? Yeah, but don't worry, I made sure to tweak some things. Her personality is completely different from yours, and I changed her hair color to white. Why white? Is she old? No, it's because she's albino. She has red eyes, too. Oh, but what if people still realize that this is based on my likeness? It looks like someone already did. Sure enough, Min has left a comment on the page where albino Noelle is getting her butt kicked. Elmo, get wrecked, nerd. That's the price of knowing an artsy. Sorry, next time I'll ask permission first. Esther, you're coming to fan anime with us, right? Yeah, I begged my parents to let me go. We should cosplay as your characters together to help promote your comic. What? No. The anatomy is so bad and I made a bunch of mistakes on everyone's outfit. You're famous and you're still saying this. You created this with your bare hands, so if it's not perfect, you're God. Okay, whatever. Do whatever you want, but I'm wearing normal clothes. You're seriously gonna go be too cool for anime while attending an anime convention? It's not like you can wander in by accident. I call dibs on Stella Luna. Then I get Kagami Izuna. Wait, I want to be Kagami Izuna. Noelle hangs back with Dia as the others argue, trying to process a confusing tangle of feelings about not being at the center of Akarsha's attention. She watches Akarsha's ridiculous gait as she walks, the one that apparently marks her as an American in India. Question, do you ever feel like love is a choice? Huh? Like you could potentially fall in love with someone? You're not in love with them, but if you want to feel that way, you could. But if you ignore it, it'll pass eventually. Isn't that just regular love? No, I'm not talking about regular love, like what you and Min experience. There was no preventing that, yet the two of you were drawn together like a force of a freight train. But this isn't like that. This is more comparable to someone reaching a fork in the road. Because I can obviously control my emotions, especially ones that aren't useful to me, I'm not a wild animal. Even if you could control your emotions, why don't you think they're useful? Because they would derail my entire life. There's an insufficient evidence to suggest that the subject and customer reciprocate my feelings, or perhaps this is putting the cart before the horse. But it's in this unlikely event the things actually did work out between us. It would be extremely inconvenient for my plans. What plans? You know, just the default ones. Essentially to secure a respectable job, marry a similarly successful man, and spawn two well-behaved children in the suburbs before I'm 30. I'd be throwing off my prospects of leading a normal life just for the pleasure of being tormented by a silly little clown every day. Dia gives her an odd look. She looks like she's struggling to piece together a very complicated puzzle. What? Nothing. If the person doesn't fit your goal, shouldn't you update the goal? I can't. It's the only outcome my parents see as acceptable. If I don't adhere to it, they'll badger me day and night. They'll never let me hear the end of it. Don't they already do that anyway? Oh, yes, they do. You're right. No matter what I do, I'll always find some new issue to latch onto. Why am I so desperate for their approval of two people whose opinions I don't even respect? I wish I could rewire my brain to only crave approval from people I hold in high esteem. Like me? You would be included, yes. Then I'd want you to adopt 1,000 dogs and start exercising. 1,000? But you can read some books too, as a treat. Your manner of discussing this makes me sound like your pet hamster. Noelle follows her classmates into the rafters. Dia, over here. Min worms her way over to them through the crowd. I escaped from my class. Escaped? Are they going to come looking for you? Nah, I lost them. You'd better have. I'd rather not get caught harboring as you drove. Did I get hurt? Did it hurt when you were born thinking with that huge stick up your butt? I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. What the heck is this anyway? Multicultural week? Yeah, that. None of the other schools I went to did this. At lunch there are samosas and Cold Stone cupcakes. What? For free? No, you buy them. All the clubs sell something for a fundraiser. I heard they're selling musubis. Musubis. What's the baseball club selling? Curry pizza, I think. Akarsha takes a seat at the end of the row against the wall. Min begins to sit down next to her. Suddenly, Dia grabs Min by the shoulder, turns her around to face her, and kisses her full on the mouth. What brought this on? Hot damn, get a room. Baffled, Noelle squeezes past him and sits in the spot Min was about to take next to Akarsha. What was that for? Not that I'm complaining. Dia whispers something in Noelle's ear that Min can't catch. No, in Min's ear that Noelle can't catch. What? That doesn't make any sense, are you sure? Maybe half. Tinikling is one of the most popular folk dances in the Philippines. This dance originated on the island of Central Philippines. Noelle and Akarsha continue to cram as their fellow students showcase a variety of cultural performances. Dia lets out a huge yawn and the rest of her head rests her head on Min's shoulder. You tired? Stayed up late studying. I'll wake you up if anything cool happens. Man, I wish I stayed up late cramming too. I'm so dead. We have an entire assembly to study. If you want to live, stop whining and start reviewing. Yes, ma'am. What a part of the flower will turn into a fruit? The ovary. The ovary. Ding, ding, ding. You didn't by any chance ask that question just to make me say ovary, did you? No way. How immature do you think I am? Last period, you asked me to guess the number you were thinking of, and it was 69. Well, you were the immature one for guessing it, right? How am I the immature one? I guessed it because I knew you're always like this. Shush. Dia's sleeping. Not anymore, she isn't. The teeny cling dancers bow and run off stage. Now that they've reached a lull in the conversation, Noelle is hyper aware of the way the side of a crush's eye is pressed against hers. Why did I have to meet you? Why do you have to be so funny and make me so happy? You've ruined everything. Next up, the Chinese dance. Is a Chinese dance. Chinese dance has thousands of years of history. A troop of students, dancers have colorful fans to idyllic, sounding Chinese song. Do you know what the song's about? I wish I could tell you. I haven't the faintest idea. When I was younger, I was so eager to cast Chinese as part of me, the Chinese part of me aside, that because it was difficult, and now I regret it. Hey, no judgment. I'm whitewashed too. Does it ever bother you that you can't speak any Indian languages? Maybe a little. I wish I could. It could be cool to know. That's all. You don't feel guilty for being uncultured? Excuse you, I'm plenty cultured. Today I'm gonna eat curry pizza, destroy the sport of baseball, and even enjoy the company of a Frenchman. You know what I mean. It's not traditional culture your ancestors experienced. Is that such a bad thing? It's different, but pretty cool in its own way, too. And if I really want, I can always pick up Hindi or something someday. But you've already missed the window of time when children pick up languages most readily. Don't plenty of people learn languages later in life, though? I feel like Dia and Min have learned a ton from just teaching each other. That may be possible, but it's not optimal. Dude, whose life is optimal? You're not a robot. Just take what you can get and be happy. Easier said than done, but duly noticed. Speaking of robots, did you try playing Portal? I did. What'd you think? It made me motion sick. I have to keep having to pause because I was on the verge of throwing up. Oops, sorry. But I did enjoy the witty dialogue and the song at the end. So, you still played all of it? Yes. Even though it made you hurl? What choice did I have? You told me to play it. Oh, yeah, I guess that's what friends do. Isn't GLaDOS so hot? The sadistic artificial intelligence who is trying to kill you? That's the whole appeal. She's scary in a seductive way. Like her voice gets all low and sexy when she's insulting you. Did you hit your head again? Something's definitely not right in there. K-pop as we know it would not exist without the woo! The K-pop dancer troupe introduction is completely drowned out by a chorus of high-pitched screams. Aw, that's so cute. I'm not sure what I would characterize these banshee screams like this as cute. Not them, next to you. Noelle turns to see Dia asleep on Min's arms, Min gazing at her like she's an angel that just fell down from heaven. It makes Noelle's skin crawl as she looks away quickly. They're so disgustingly in love I can barely bear to look at them. Right? It's like staring directly into the sun. And all obvious. Sometimes I kind of wish they were more my style. That were more my style. Do you really? It's not exactly my style either. Yeah, I guess not. Noelle carefully maintains a mildly disgusted expression as she watches the crusher read, just in case she's caught staring. If I cast this part of myself aside because it's difficult too, will I come to regret it later? Hey, do you remember when my brother hijacked my computer and typed all that crazy stuff to you? What? It was a few months ago, after school, remember? Oh, I forgot about that. That was odd. Yes, I remember. Why? I lied. That wasn't my brother, that was me. Okay. Akarsha goes back to reading her biology textbook, though her legs are now jittering up and down. I feel like that was just told to joke with the punchline flew straight over my head. Why would it matter that it was her and not her brother? What exactly did she say? As she racks her brains, dozens of costume seniors take the floor. Thank you, K-pop. Up next is the senior Bhangra. Bhangra was originally a folk dance performed in Punjab. There's Chris and Liz. Wake up. Seniors, come on down. It's okay if you don't know the moves, follow our lead. How is it okay if people don't know the moves? I guess they all try to copy the group that's learned the dance. Won't that look hopelessly unsynchronized, though? They can't possibly dance in proper unison on the fly. Why don't we see for ourselves? Let's dance. Akarsha stands, yanking Noelle up by her arm. What? We're not seniors? Come on, no one's gonna notice. I can't focus anyway. Noelle balks as her friends weave through their way through the crowd of amateur dancers. I don't dance! Come on, you don't need to go to be good at something to do it. They're all going to copy each other, clapping and raising their arms in a beat late each time. This looks terrible. Oh, balls, this is harder than I thought. I told you, we look like fools. That's okay, so does everyone else. Already out of breath, Noelle looks around at the chaotic blur of Asian nerds flailing their limbs around them. It's true, this must be a group of some of the worst dancers in the world. With their renewed confidence, Noelle spins in what turns out to be a completely wrong direction. Dia roars back to avoid crashing into her. To our Noelle's surprise, Dia's belatedly bumps into her, sending her flying into Akarsha. That almost seemed deliberate. Ah! Pardon. Akarsha tries to pull back, only for Min to smack the back of her head in retaliation. Ow, what was that for? This air is mine. Huh? Noelle grabs Akarsha's hand for balance as they collide again. Isn't this fun? This is a hellhole. This is a paradise. Akarsha laces their fingers together and Noelle can feel it, a hairline crack racing through something foundational within her. It's an utterly terrifying yet exhilarating sensation, but she doesn't let go. I have feelings for you. She whispered it as an experiment, so it's impossible to hear her over the roar of the crowd and the music. But it feels like a small daring victory, like the first step on the moon. Like a butterfly breaking out of its chrysalis, all soft, naive, and crinkled. Maybe with 2 left feet and a few days late to the party, but alive, so alive, trying to process the blinding, beautiful, wild world she's broken her way into. What'd you say? Akarsha twirls her and Noelle gives up on suppressing the giddy smile on her face. Nothing, maybe I'll tell you later. By the way, Burger King. That's not even the slogan. They dance and dance, all stupid and struggling and happy. There's so much more pain and misery in this school. It's twisted us all into a strange and flawed shapes, like butterflies born in a full spring. But in the circumstances that gave us you and me, right here, right now, Kant wrote, out of the crooked timbers of humanity, no straight thing was ever made. And how we long to be straight, forgetting there's beauty in the crooked things too. We'll never live the lives our parents wanted us to lead. And that's okay. Because we'll forget something brave and new instead. And it won't be the same. It will be ours. But it'll be ours. And I won't ever let that go. The credits! Well, while the credits play, I'm gonna mute this thing, because this is definitely copyrighted. But we'll let the credits play, and I'll give my closing thoughts. I think it was a great story. I love the awakening journey, and how everyone kind of, like, learned, and, like, found their way in the world. It was really good, and I'm very glad that I decided to pick it up. Ooh, credit songs. It did have some wonderful songs. 2016. Yeah, this was a great story, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I definitely did. I'm really, really glad that I decided to watch the second one. I haven't seen many people look at it, but the first story just hit home so well, and the second one just kind of made me happy. And I like that it ended the way it did, and wasn't like overly couple falls in love story. The future. Well, were they open? What do you think? It's 1 a.m. Of course Home Depot wasn't open. There's got to be somewhere else you can buy bolt cutters. At this hour, I'm not optimistic. Guess I'll just have to pass away then. How are we going to get them off? I'm afraid we need to go to the fire station for help. Stop laughing. This isn't funny. This isn't funny. We're going to get the fire... We're going to go to the fire station with me half naked and handcuffed. And it's not funny. You really can't get more dressed than that. I mean, my arms can't go through the sleeves. Hold still. I give up. Good enough. Good enough? I only have... if only I had a humiliation kink, this would have been perfect. Doesn't Min have a katana? Do they? Or at least some kind of sword? Maybe we could use it to slice the handcuffs off. Oh, what? You want a surprise amputation tonight? No. And you're sure the key didn't fall behind the dresser? I looked everywhere. It's gone. I'm convinced that in these scenarios, small objects stop obeying the laws of physics. That has never happened any other times I handcuffed you. That, my dear, is called luck. Whatever you say, Skunky. Stop calling me that. Fine, Skunko Pop. D. Gray Man. And don't brainstorm horrid new nicknames for me. But you're basically begging for it with your hair like that. It's not as if I grew gray hairs on purpose. Then how come I don't have any? You're intolerable. Noelle seizes the front of Akarsha's shirt and yanks her forward, crushing their lips together. Akarsha makes a small noise of surprise, then grins as she deepens the kiss, coaxing her lips open so her tongue can slide inside. The start of the night, she tasted like watermelon lip gloss, but that's long been kissed and smeared away into oblivion. Noelle can't help but think, why bother? When will you learn? I'll always kiss you through every layer of crap you put between us until it's just you and me. When they part their breasts ragged, neither of them can come up with anything witty to say. I love you. I love you more. That's impossible. No, it's not. I love you times infinity. There I win. You can't multiply infinity. Infinity is a concept, not a number, so is love for that matter. Well, too bad. I did it. Love you times infinity. Noelle sighs, but she doesn't bother hiding this half-smile tugging at her mouth. If you're going to speak nonsense, then I love you times infinity plus 1. Now get in the car. I have work in the morning. Akarsha tries to respond as Noelle opens the door for her, but she's laughing so hard it takes her several attempts to get it out. The firefighters are going to look outside and see Prius driver dressed like Frog and Toad and me. What's wrong with driving a Prius? Just get in already. I love you times infinity minus 1. I love you times infinity minus 2. Okay, how mean. Well, that was officially the end. I like that they did get together. I like Noelle's story of realizing her sexuality. I think it was a great story. And I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye!